Hey everybody, it's Monster back again with Opus Gaming, and I'm here today to bring you guys actually a pretty fun deck profile. This is one of the decks I'm bringing with me to the 2023 Nats, and I'm really excited to play in that. We're going to be, when this deck profile goes up, we're going to already be in at Nats, but just in general, I'm really excited to go play against everybody, play with everybody, and then also just playing in all the side events and main event and everything like that. It's just going to be a very exciting weekend. Before I do a deep dive into the deck profile, though, you guys already know if you're not subbed already, drop a sub down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, especially if you've been seeing my content a lot. I'd really appreciate it. But let's just dive into Hydramon and why I've been enjoying this deck so much. So, starting off with the eggs here. We're going to go with 2 Argomon and 3 Gummymon. Gummymon is really just like a really good consistency piece. I see Argomon is kind of like a turn extender where I'm going to get that extra memory to extend my plays for the turn. But for the most part, I really like the Gummymon and seeing it a little bit more often. I didn't like either one of these as being a 4-to-1 split, so I really like a 3-2 split in this deck. It's kind of something unique, but with the unique playstyle of Bloomlord, you do want to cycle through your eggs decently fast here. So, all right, getting into some of the Digimon. This is the important part. We'll try to go a little bit quicker here for this deck profile as well. We have the Palmon package. I'm playing 4-to-2. So 4 of the old Palmon that searches top 4 that can pick you up 2 cards if one of them's a fairy, and then the other ones are vegetation or plant types. And then we also have the other Palmon, the new one, that is a draw one. The reason I'm only playing it at 2 of is just because sometimes it's kind of hard to keep a rookie on the board. But like I said with the Gummymon, where you're getting all these extra draws, it's there for consistency. So you can see all my pieces, especially my 1-ofs and things like that, like fairly consistently. And then also just try to get to my outs to what my opponent's doing as well. So that's why I'm playing this package. I think that they help a lot. Palmon's one of the most important rookies that this deck has to offer as well. At least the Palmon Searcher. Sorry, I forgot that they're both Palmon. But next up, we have a similar package where it's going to be Pomamon with Pomamon. With cross art running around and all the decks that do summon a vast amount of cards like Jessamon and things like that, I do want to tech one Pomamon, especially if I do see a Hydramon in the mirror. But it's one of those cards where it's a controlled floodgate. I drop it once my deck is already flooded, and then I stop my opponent from doing the same. So I do like Pomamon as a 1-of. And then for the other Pomamon, this card is a staple 4-of. It's one of your best ways to suspend your opponent's cards in their Digimon. So it's just it's a utility piece that is a key piece to the main strategy. You always want to be using that to get your opponent's Digimon suspended. Really quickly, I'll drop this one down here so it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, perfect. All right. Next up, we have the 1 Mushroomon and 2 Vegemon, or 2 Terriermon to finish out the rookie lineup. The reason we're playing these, the Terriermon is the best floodgate that you just have to offer. It's just not a plant or fairy type or anything like that, so you can't bring it out for free like you can with the Pomamon, and it doesn't work with your effects. But dropping a Terriermon in certain matchups is really key. And then Mushroomon is just here for value. It's a really good value play, and it just really helps you set up, choke your opponent, or just drop extra bodies on board. So I really like Mushroomon. When you start off your turn at 4 because you have a Tamer and the Memory Gainer, playing the Mushroomon and then going into a Sunflowmon is actually really cool because you float out so many cards. Next up, our level 4 lineup. We have 3 Vegemon, the new one that gains you a memory at the start of your turn, 4 of the Sunflowmon, 4 of the Red Vegemon, and 1 Weedmon. So, going with the 1 Weedmon, this is to pair with the card that you'll see later, as well as this Chimeramon right here. So it's a reusable card, but it's a 1-cost Digivolution, and that is actually a pretty big deal for this deck. You do want to be Digivolving as efficiently as possible. So we got the 1 Weedmon that gives you that, and then we have 4 of the new Red Vegemon that is just a 1-cost 3/3 drop. This card is just there for value, just like the Mushroomon. But the 1-cost Digivolve, being a level 4, it's just you use it all the time. It can come out for free with a lot of your effects, and then you're just starting your Digivolution chains at 4 with this card. Next up, we have Sunflowmon. This card is one of the best cards in the deck. When you're Digivolving, you can suspend one of your cards to bring out another vegetation or fairy or plant type card that has 3,000 DP or less. So that's why Red Vegemon falls into that category, where you're going to be able to bring that out for free and start your lines like that. You can do it with your Ayatar as well. But all of your new cards kind of fall in that lineup. So you can bring out a free level 4 or a free level 3. Just extend your turn as well as grow a board so that when you do drop your big bombs, you can have they can be really effective against your opponent. And then last but not least, we have the new, just regular Vegemon, not red Vegemon. This one is actually really, really cool. This one gains you a memory at the start of your turn. You want to bring this out with like your Sunflowmon and things like that. Or if you're at 3, you can bring this out to choke your opponent to 1. And on your next turn, you're going to be starting your turn with more memory. It's kind of just another utility slot in the deck, but it's I really like using it. Red Vegemon has proved to be very useful. And then next we have, well, we're gonna go into the Chimeramon by himself actually. Chimeramon is here as kind of like look at it as like a Lobo for game or a hybrid for game kind of card. You use it to, when you're spamming out cards with like your Ayatar and your Sunflowmon, and they can't attack for the turn, but your Bloomlord does a lot of checks. You then go into Chimeramon with cards that couldn't attack before, and then you can just close out games faster. All right, getting into the main level 5 line now. We'll start off with the Digisorption package. We have 2 and 2 for Blossomon and Cherrymon. No Argomon anymore. We're just, we wanted to up our vegetation count in the deck, and just playing these for either a free Digisorption or a blocker Digisorption has actually proved to be very, very effective. So this is actually the lineup that I've been enjoying. And then after that, actually, we can just go over the 4 Ayatarmon. Probably the most important card in the deck, and just like where you want to start with the deck as well. Ayatar is just a fantastic card. He brings out another card just like the Sunflowmon, but it's like a little bit better of an effect, right? Because you can suspend himself, bring out another card, Digivolve into the Bloomlord, suspend the card that you just brought out, trigger his inheritable, untap the Bloomlord, and it's all just so cool. So Ayatar is a very key and pivotal piece to the main combo. So let's see if we can get these. Actually, these can still be going down here. But for Ayatar, the 2 Cherry and the 2 Blossom have proved to be very, very useful so far. So 2 Bloomlord, or Blossomon. All right, getting into our top end, we'll start off with the 3 Bloomlord and 3 Hydramon. I feel like this is a pretty standard lineup. It's just a very balanced lineup for your top end. Sometimes you want Bloomlord, sometimes you want Hydramon, but they're both searchable for the deck, and they both help resolve the other one's effects, so it doesn't matter which one you establish first. Normally, I like establishing a Hydramon into my opponent's already established board, but if they don't have an established board already and I have to do something, I'll bring up Bloomlord so I can at least make a really big impact on my opponent's security and the board, as well as staying on a pretty big body. So I really like this package. I think it's a pretty balanced and pretty even way to run the level 6s here. Let's see if this works, yeah. Next up, we have a 1-of in the level 6 slot, and that's the 1-of Nidhogg. Nidhoggmon is really kind of self-explanatory. This card is cracked, and it works really well in this deck. It combos really well with the Chimeramon because you can pull a Vegemon out of your security, or out of your trash, I'm sorry, and put it underneath him with the Chimera, and then Digivolve into the Nidhogg and trash everything, and get that memory boost. So that's really nice. But Nidhogg is just there to clear big boards. Jesmon's kind of a problem. Other Bloomlord decks are kind of a problem for this deck, so just having an out, as well as just kind of like being able to, when you don't see your Hydramon and they have multiple suspended Digimon, just being able to like get a big value play is really nice right now. So that's why we're playing the Nidhogg. Getting into the last bit of the deck, we just have some important option pieces, which are going to be 3 green memory boosts, 3 Somni Santi, and 1 HPD. Starting off with the HPD, this is just really self-explanatory. This is going to be your turn extender and your crazy combo play enabler. So what you do is you just suspend, or you don't pay for your level 6 Digivolves, and then when they pop off and give you a bunch of memory, all of that memory is just free memory at that point. So you're gaining more memory than you started with, so this is just a wild hammer spark in this deck. 3 Somni Santi. I feel like Somni Santi is a crazy card. You just need a way to suspend your cards, as well as suspending Blackboard Greymons, Gaiomons, and just other problem cards like Melga as well. I think that that's really important, but just being able to trigger effects, this can trigger your Gummymon consistently as well. So sometimes this will just be a free suspend on your side, free suspend on your opponent's side, and if you tap something like a Pomamon, you can get 2 suspends on your opponent's Digimon and then go into something like a Nidhogg and really just ruin your opponent's day with a play like that. So last but not least, for the options, we have 3 green memory boosts. This is a consistency piece, and it just finds you other pieces. It's really important to include in the deck, but I would just say that it has been performing really, really well. I really like filtering my deck. I don't want to over filter, so I'm just playing it at 3. That's really the biggest thing. So, and then last but not least, we've got 1 Mimi. With the 1-of Mimi, I did want a memory tamer, but with Blackboard Greymon running around, I didn't want to fully rely on this card and have this card be like my only out to that type of situation. So we dropped it down to 1 and try to use other ways and other means to kind of build our board. And we've been learning to play around, not just having the Mimi all the time. But yeah, that's going to be the Bloomlord deck. I think that this is going to perform really well at Nats, and I'm really excited to just pilot it. It's one of those decks where like you have to pilot the deck. Like it's not, it doesn't just pop off on its own. You have to know the plays kind of by heart, and you have to know your matchups. But when you do, it rewards you really well. So I'm gonna keep this deck profile pretty short. So if you guys haven't, you guys already know, drop a sub, leave a like, leave a comment. But this is me, Jamonster with Opus Gaming, and I'm out. Take care, guys.